Hey, champ.
I was always awake.
Ready to learn about Bluey?
Ready to learn about what?
Bluey. Come on, we all know Bluey.
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 This
Bluey.
This generation's Blue
Bluey.
Dog.
I know about this one. Okay,
Yeah.
hold on.
Okay.
I know about this one.
Still going.
Bluey.
Sit down. You pull that again in my class.
Should I go unblue?
No, you've already made a decision. Pull that again in my class and see what happens. All right. Let's do this quick. We're going to talk about Bluey. I've got 30 minutes.
Why?
The chiropractor.
What's that?
It's from my back.
No, that's called a spine.
No. The chiropractor's... Anyway, Bluey.
Bluey.
So you're probably wondering, as if you don't already know, but you're probably wondering, what's Bluey? Bluey is an Australian cartoon primarily aimed at preschool kids and their families. People more like to call it a show that kids can watch, but it's more for the parents. This show has exploded in popularity in recent years. It's been on for 5 years, apparently. I didn't discover it till... Yeah, question.
Bluey exploded?
We'll get to that. That's the fan theory section. Anyway, but no, this show is for everyone. Moms, dads, kids, high school kids.
I'm none of those things yet.
Old young adults wanting to heal their inner child can watch Bluey. Everyone can watch Bluey. Now, it's about a family of Australian healers. You're a cat person, that's a dog.
Thought that was like a class in D&D.
No. But they're Australian healers. They love to play and spend quality time together. And it's a show that everyone, as I said, can enjoy. And it makes even the toughest situations easy to understand. This is the creator, Joe Brum. What a guy.
That is, yeah, I'd agree.
Joe Brum, creator of Bluey, he draws inspiration from his own real life. He's a girl dad.
Normally, dads were guys.
It's the 21st century.
So the show was primarily made for a whole family to enjoy, from preschoolers all the way to the parents.
Well,
Fun fact number one, his childhood dog was an Australian healer named Bluey, and that was the inspiration for the show.
is he Australian?
He is Australian. It's all
That
made in
makes
Australia.
so much sense.
It's all made in Australia. Fun fact too, his family also inspired this show. And his younger brother and his mom are both voicing characters in the show that reoccur. And they both work on the show. His younger brother works on the music department.
You'll love to see nepotism in this day and age.
You do, maybe. Fun fact 3, the games we see by the two main kids, Bluey and Bingo, are inspired by Brum's own daughters and their games they would play.
So, how do you play Bluey?
Well, Bluey is...
Well, if one of them's Bingo, I know how you play Bingo, and if they're inspired by the games they played, how do you play Bluey?
I don't think he understands, Joe.
So you're probably wondering, who's the healer family, am I right? Well, first off, we have Bluey Healer. That's our main character right there. Bluey's out. She's now 7 years old because they're canonically getting older as seasons and years go on. She's described as sort of your rough and tumble girl. This is why it's kind of, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
You say that Bluey is now a 7-year-old girl.
Yeah.
First of all, that's a dog.
She's a girl dog.
Okay. Just want to
Dog
clarify
is
that.
girl.
Second point.
Yeah.
Bluey is 7 years old.
Uh-huh.
In dog years or human years? Because in human years, she's 5.
It's unclear if they're using dog to human years. It's just more meant to signify, hey, 7-year-old kid watching. This is your representation. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah, young. But you're probably thinking, that doesn't look like a girl. This looks like a boy.
That's just because of the psychological association we have with the color blue, being boys and girls being pink, Now, they say that that didn't actually always used to be the case. I don't know if this is true or not, or if this is just a rumor, but apparently it started in Nazi Germany, actually. Hitler was supposedly the first one to posit the idea that boys should be blue and girls would be pink, and that would be the color association. So anyone who perpetuates that idea, it is important to note that they are probably actually perpetuating ideas that were first put on the scene by Hitler.
Really just need to fact check some essential details.
Bluey's kind of a leader type, or she may just have a really loud personality that you hear more often than you hear like the more quieter types. But she's still very caring for the other kids and her younger siblings.
So not your typical kid.
Yes and no. But anyway, this is her sister Bingo. Bingo is now 5 years old. And Bingo's just a little ball of energy. She's a little 5-year-old.
That was like a ball of dog.
Well, she's a dog as well. But she's kind, curious, and determined, and loves to laugh. So she's a lot more quiet and timid compared to Bluey's kind of loud nature. You know? But she loves diving into all the pretend games that they play, like grannies and pizza delivery girls and such, with her big sister Bluey and their family. This is Chili Healer. This is starting to be why people love the show, is the parents.
Okay.
Chili is Mom Goals.
Mom goals.
Yeah.
Mom goals.
Yes. She's really good
Attila
at...
the Hun.
No.
That's the Huns.
No.
Genghis Khan.
No.
Kangas Khan.
No.
Pokemon.
Nope. But she's really good at teaching her two young girls about the world and how to navigate its challenges. She does need to remain level-headed when the healer house gets out of control or caught up in a brand new game. But she's almost willing to do anything to make her kids happy. She's a bit of a sporty queen. She's known for, she has a lot of field hockey trophies, and she is a working girl because she works in airport security.
Girl boss?
She does not gaslight nor gatekeep,
Okay.
but she is a girl boss.
Okay. So the good kind of girl boss.
Correct. She's a good girl boss.
Girl boss, good.
Mm-hmm.
Gateway drug.
No. This is Bandit. Alright? And as you can see, Bandit is rad. He is dad goals, and he is also the GOAT. As you can see, he's busting a move with his bad self. What?
That's still a dog.
It's still a dog, yes.
It's not a goat.
Anyway, Bandit is a hard-working dad who oftentimes just really needs a nap and maybe a coffee just to chill. But 9.5 times out of 10, he's willing to put that aside to play a game with Bingo and Bluey.
Girl boss, good, gangster.
Come again?
Girl boss, good, gangster.
Use more word to explain those words.
No.
But he keeps romance alive with his wife Chili despite having two young firecracker of girls. But he would do anything for his kids, including apologizing and being vulnerable, saying like, hey kids, I'm sorry I messed up and I yelled earlier. That wasn't cool. But you need to understand this life lesson we're trying to teach you right now. And that's why people love Bandit, is because not a lot of dads in media are like that. You know? They just kind of yell or they're disassociated.
He has kids?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I had to change one of my notes.
Okay, sorry, I gotta get through these pictures of Bandit. This is the ideal male body. You may not like it, but this is what peak performance looks like in a male nowadays. Good picture. And sexiest man alive.
Okay.
As you can see, peak husband father goals. Basically, if you thought you were a good dad or husband before Bandit came along, you got a stiff competition now, buddy.
I feel like I have a question.
Okay, what's your question?
This is a show aimed at preschool kids.
Primarily, yeah.
Is that not kind of cringe champ and not Pog?
I'm glad now you're probably wondering, this is a preschool kids show. Why is everyone obsessed with it? Isn't that kind of cringe champ and not Pog?
That's exactly what I was thinking.
It's almost like I've known you for a decade. But this show...
Hold on.
Did you need to write down that we've known each other for a decade? Are you not preparing for
Math.
Are you not preparing for our 10-year anniversary?
I thought you said we were friends.
I said we were friendly.
This show does not just teach kids how to count; it teaches you how to feel. You know.
Okay, well-
Sesame Street will be like, 1, 2, 3. This should teach you how to feel.
Does it teach you how to count?
It does a lot more of the feel side.
Okay, I feel like you should watch this show,
No. I do, and I understand how to feel.
but you don't know how to count.
No, I know how to count.
I'm pretty sure we've known each other for 13 years.
How long have we been friends, though?
You didn't say that.
I said anniversary. You know what? I should have said friend-iversary, not anniversary. That's on me. I'm sorry. Anyway, we do get fun things such as being good friends and a good sister, listening to others, patience, how to have fun. But it covers topics that oftentimes are just straight up aimed at the parents. And the kids can pick up on and understand, but it's more teaching you, hey kids, this is the correct way or a safe way to respond to that. Now let's talk about the deep/real topics that this show covers, all right? Neurodivergence,
Oh, he just like me, for real, for real.
deafness, a parent being in the army, running your own race versus comparing yourself to others, the life cycle, premature babies.
I don't feel like you can just say the life cycle and stop there.
Oh,
Like,
no. Preschool show. This
how am I supposed to interpret the life cycle?
This primarily is done by the way of saying like, hey, death is a thing and it's part of the life cycle.
Okay, you should have used subpoints.
Don't tell me how to teach. But anyway, premature babies, infertility and miscarriages, and as well as death. More deep/real topics continued. The fear of growing up, the fear of abandonment, PTSD as a whole. The change in relationships with parents, like one day when your parent has to be taken care of instead of taking care of you. And they have a whole episode dedicated to how Chili has to, and her dad have to get used to that change in their relationship.
Who needs to watch this show when you can just live that experience in your own family for the past 7 years?
Because if you had this show before that 7 years happened, you may have been able to understand it better.
I don't think
Big
I
brain.
can understand anything right now.
And then of course, parents learning parenting as a team. There's a whole episode dedicated to that one as well. But now, before we end and we take your final questions and I give you a pop quiz, we are going to run through some things I think you're going to find interesting. The Bluey fan theories.
Okay. Theory verse.
These will
I
slowly
like these.
These will slowly ramp up in weirdness and or ludicrousy, and I have given them my own personal rating out of 5
Okay.
for how I think if they're accurate or
Okay.
not. Is Bluey a rainbow baby?
What does that mean?
To explain, in season 2 of the show, Bingo and Bluey are putting on a little play of how their mom and dad met. That's real cute. Now, during this, Bingo, who looks a lot like Chili, is pretending to be pregnant with Bluey. She has a balloon stuffed up her shirt. During some shenanigans of them playing around and kind of poking the balloon pops. We then cut to Chili and Bandit reacting, looking happy, and then immediately saddened, and we see Bandit grab his wife's hand. So,
Is that a term that people know?
rainbow baby?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, the next one. Chili and Bandit are smugglers. So you're looking at this house, right? You may think that's a really nice house, right?
Seems pretty good. Maybe
Yeah.
like
They got a whole
600K,
big yard,
700.
big backyard,
Yeah,
big
size probably needs to go up a bit more.
big balcony deck area. Not just a balcony deck.
Size. I mean, it's fine, but like it doesn't. It's not a full wraparound. It's only on the front side there.
Anyway,
and it's kind of blocked by the other portion on the right.
It's a nice house. It's a house that Chili and Bandit probably shouldn't be able to afford because Chili works just in airport security. So when you go through, she's the one that step through. You know, she does that. And Bandit is an archaeologist, and they don't get paid a whole lot.
Okay.
All things considered. Now the theory suggests to afford their lifestyle, that Bandit will find and steal priceless artifacts, and because his wife works in airport security, she helps him smuggle them, and they sell them on the black market for more money.
His name is Bandit! Of course they're smugglers! Come on, people! You changed how you spelled their names.
Not really.
Chili spelled here with one L, but on other slides you had it with two.
I think I was thinking about the restaurant because I was hungry. The kids are grannies. Now, fans of the show, you probably read my sweatshirt and you understand that this is a grannies reference. There's a whole episode.
Does grannies mean grandmothers?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, Bluey and Bingo have a recurring set of characters known as Rita and Janet, aka the grannies. And this theory goes on to suggest that they're not kids. They're really old people who are pretending / think they're still children, and that Bandit and Chili are really the kids taking care of the parent. Kind of going back to that thing we talked about earlier of learning to take care of your parents. But
Dementia.
Taste or dementia, you decide.
anyway, are they nudist? This is a popular one.
I just think it's a great choice that you use that image for this, because that's what I would have done.
Of course. Now, throughout the show, if you go and you watch episodes, you see that they'll just have, like, bits of clothes just hanging on clotheslines. But they don't wear them that often. And when they do, it's kind of like, this is weird, and it doesn't feel right. You know what I mean?
If they have clothes and they aren't wearing them, what's the explanation for clothes existing if they aren't in a nudist colony?
Well, that might... I give this -5 out of 5, because this is a kid's show. What is wrong with people?
I just think if clothes exist and they aren't wearing them, what else do you call it?
This one says that in this world, is it a post-apocalyptic society where dogs rose up? So, this, to keep it brief, this theory wonders that what if Bluey, they use a lot of technology that we have. They got iPads, they got iPhones. What if it takes place in our world? Here. Right?
How did the dogs make the technology?
Right, because then now we gotta say, humans, dead. Who killed them? Probably other humans.
That's just real.
Yeah. Other animals, still treated like animals. Get wrecked, monkeys, bugs, cats, all still treated as regular animals. So how do the dogs of Bluey know how to walk on 2 feet, use an iPad to do FaceTime with their grandmother to see if their grandmother knows how to do the floss dance? It's a whole plot of an episode.
The floss.
Mm-hmm. This show's been out for 5 years. This was season 1, so the floss was still popular.
And the episode is them trying to call their grandmother on FaceTime to see if she knows how to floss.
And then they teach them.
That was the plot of an episode.
They're 7 minutes apiece.
Oh, well, you didn't tell me that ever.
Sorry. So this kind of goes in to say that dogs rose up to fill the void, the vacuum left by humans no longer being around. And they were kind of mimicking their former masters. You do see Bluey's cousin Socks, for like the first couple of appearances that she has, walks like a dog, barks, can't speak, has to be put on a leash at one point. They still advertise leashes as a thing. So, but then later we see her walking on 2 legs as if she's learned how to then be part of this new dog society instead of the old society, you know what I mean? You know, that's just kind of the brunt of this theory, and you'll find a great YouTube video by a theorist where it's just said for a bit, the thumbnail was, "Does Bluey know the launch codes?"
Like the nuclear launch codes?
And this is where this theory first popped up on Reddit and then was populated by said YouTube video.
Oh, it's a real Morty moment.
It's a real Morty.
Okay, see, here's the thing, right?
Right.
Dogs start not knowing how to walk on 2 legs, walking like a normal dog, and they can't speak.
Right.
But if we take what we know about humans, little baby humans, the small ones, whatever you call them, They
Babies?
cannot walk on two legs.
They
also cannot speak human words.
It's
and
true.
they gargle and they Google. And
They don't
they
Google.
do not know how to do most human things. So those two things are kind of already out of the water, right? That's not possible. Then, the use of technology, right? You might wonder how they learned to use those things, how to drive, how to walk on two legs, but all it has to be is that this is in an alternate world where dogs are the intelligent race and can make those things. So long as there's no evidence that the technology exists but nobody knows how to make it, if a dog is actually able to produce this technology to make cars, to teach other people how to use the technology, to drive, I mean, that just explains it all the way right there. You can use they start like normal dogs as a basis.
starting like normal dogs. We literally see a flashback to Bluey and her friends. They weren't like socks. So it's a weird.
And they were the same age?
Yeah.
Oh, this thing just got blown wide open.
Yeah.
It's all true.
Any final thoughts before we conclude this and I go to the chiropractor?
When it comes down to it, any show that's theorizable has credit and worth to it. Now, you can teach life lessons through television, but you can't replace the value of true human connections. So as much as you might want to turn on the iPad and let your kid watch this show to teach them the life lessons, even if what you're showing them is Bluey and they're not playing games on the iPad and they're not watching dumb YouTube videos and they're not watching Skibbity Toilet, even if this is what they're watching, you're letting them be an iPad kid growing up watching this on their iPad, and you're not parenting them. So what you, dear parent, watcher, should be doing is to take note from this show and have real connections with your kid. Put down the technology. Teach them the life lessons yourself. Watch the show. Because as much as it can help teach life lessons to your kids, I feel like you need to be watching the show so that it can teach life lessons to you.
So watch the show because it's really great. What Chase Ishamo said was, what you need to do, according to his theory, is kill your parents so they then have to learn about the death of a grandparent.
What?
Now, you've seen us cut up and make jokes about this show. You've seen me actually show some knowledge about the show, the fact that there are some really great life lessons that it throws at the kids. Now, that's not saying every episode is like, oh, so-and-so's grandma died. It is a lot of like a balancing act of the first episode, for instance. They're playing a game of where they're just trying to keep a balloon in the air for a long time, and it's really sweet. And we just see a lot of great family dynamics come out of this show. Now, I'm not saying sit your kids down and make them watch Bluey for hours. What I am saying is that this show is great, and that if you don't let your kids watch that much TV, let your kids watch Bluey. It's a lot better than the other shows they could be watching. This is going to be the show that when they get older, they're going to look back and go, oh yeah, I'm going through this thing right now, but I saw my favorite characters when I was a kid go through it, so I know what's a proper response and what's not a proper response. It's also just a really great show. The music's great. Joe Brum and his team put a lot of hard work into this show, and you should support it because season 4 is on the way, and people are really waiting for it. And Joe Brum, if you're for some reason watching this video, first off, hi, how are you? Big fan of your work, and keep bringing us good quality content like Bluey. All right, now back to those other guys, those Joe Schmucks as we call them. I guess that's just been
Just WAC.
We'll see you next time.